So this is our signature wine, our Wiston Estate Cuvee 2015. Now, it's always a treat for me to have a smell and a taste of this wine. It is for us absolutely the wine that represents what we do here at Wiston. It is just slightly more golden in colour than our house, our Brut non-vintage. That will have a little bit to do with the fact that it has slightly more Pinot in it. It's also in contrast to our house wine, our Brut non-vintage. This wine has exclusively been fermented in old oak barrels, whereas our house wine is in stainless steel when it's been turned into wine. This has the added advantage of having gone into those barrels. Now, what happens in a barrel is fascinating. Because a barrel, a tree, was a living thing, there is obviously pores in which small amounts of oxygen can interact with the wine. This is a wine that it's had contact with its outside environment, and that just as if you take a cheese out of a wrapper and allow it to kind of come to life a little bit more. It's the beginning of where some more complex flavours can develop. Now, to have a smell of this wine, you're immediately hit. I get this red apple. You then, there's some roasted flavours in there, of roasted fruit. I have to say, sometimes it'll be nectarine, sometimes peach. At this point, I have the privilege of having a taste. Yeah, absolutely, roasted peach. And in contrast again to that house wine, I'm someone who thinks in shapes. That has a very linear. This is more rounded. There is more fullness. And actually, I say it's a treat. It's a sensation when you're drinking this of something opulent, something luxurious. It really, and it still is, it's filling my mouth with these wonderful fruity, and it's still got that kind of English orchard. There's a bit of, like I say, red apple, and yet it's also going in a direction. It's got that signature that Dermot, our winemaker, always has. They're never fluffy, his wines. They're always precise and they're always going somewhere. But this has a persistent, lovely, persistent flavour. And you can see, and I love the look of this wine, these tiny little bubbles that just kind of, they just dissipate beautifully in the mouth. And the barrel will have had something to do with that. This is certainly one to celebrate any occasion and is tasting wonderful now. But I have to say, one would be hugely rewarded if you could be disciplined enough to leave it in a cellar just for a little while longer. The fresh acidity will enable this wine to age beautifully.